Hey guys, it is Lincoln here, and I am honored and privileged to be interviewing the one and only Theresa Wheatley. How are you doing, Theresa?
I'm doing really well. Well, that's a very nice introduction. It's a pleasure to be chatting to you. I know we're going to dig in deep into FitPro Live and potentially other things. So thank you.
No worries, absolute pleasure. And, I'm absolutely stoked to be presenting at FitPro. It's been over 25 years since I was last there. Started my journey as a steward way back in 1992, ended up being part of the choreography club tour. And it's great that this event is back. So before we jump straight in, and for people that don't know or weren't around in the days of the hotels in Coventry and Birmingham, can you just give us a quick overview of what FitPro Live is and what it's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. It has been the start of many people's careers, actually, and beautiful that so many of those people are so relevant in the industry and are actually going to be there. So that, first of all, is a super exciting thing. For me, this FitPro Live is 35 years of FitPro. It's a reimagining of something that was monumental to so many of us, integral into my development as a fitness professional through and through. I think one of the things that FitPro was always renowned for was getting amazing speakers that would make a huge difference, inspire. And for me, why I wanted to bring this back, and it's not just a nostalgic thing, although there is a bit of that going on. We want new people coming into the industry as well, is it's about getting people together in a room that are all there to make a difference. And so many people have been calling out for that, and saying, when is it going to happen? I'm just delighted that June 18th and 19th, not so long away, we're going to be, rocking it again. Yeah.
Awesome. And what makes this event so special or different from previous ones that I may have attended or that you guys have put on?
Absolutely. We're bringing people who are at the forefront of the industry and who are going to make a difference. We've gone for simplicity actually with three educational rooms, big rooms. One's going to be practical, one's going to be theory and practical, and one's going to be theory. So you can choose, from a multitude of different sessions. They're hour-long sessions. So in a way, they are sort of bite-sized, but what we're going to do is throw a load of education in there. It's not just in the practical space. It's not just about beasting ourselves. It's truly about moving and learning, and that's going to be sort of effective in the others. So for me, it's going to be before we came on, you were talking about actionable things that people can truly take away. I've chosen presenters that I know make a true difference to people's careers and actually for ourselves. It's not always just about servicing our clients, is it? And what we do in the industry. It's about time for ourselves, reflection for ourselves, and also about getting in the room with other people and networking with people who are so like-minded. We know how lonely an industry this can be. So yeah, it's so there's a sort of sense of we're repeating all the goodness of what was previously done with a fresh and sort of cutting edge. If we're bringing back old presenters, we're not harping on about the old. We are right in the most current, cutting edge and evidence-based sessions. And so, yeah, I think that probably, I was going to try and say done it up in a nutshell, but I'm not entirely sure. But as you can probably tell, Lincoln,
The big nut, Teresa. Do you know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly. It's a lot to talk about, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that's presented at the previous Fit Pros, it's actually quite nice to just have an hour's session because in the old days it was 90 minutes and that was a whole heap of content that we had to get through. And you're right. So yes, you're bringing in people that have presented and worked with FitPro before, but it's great that it's an educational based event rather than let's just do choreography upon choreography upon choreography. And I think that that's the key thing and the key thing that makes it different from a lot of the other events that are out there at the moment. I mean, in your opinion, what are some of the headline sessions or speakers
Oh,
that people shouldn't miss?
oh, right. So honestly, I think they're all headlines. I think it's headliners. I think the presenters, I think sometimes just being in the room. with someone of that caliber. It doesn't really matter what they're talking about. Of course, we've chosen stuff that's cutting edge and relevant to fitness professionals, but sometimes just being in the room with somebody who just inspires you and gets you to think about different parts of your career and your journey is really important. I think what we've tried to do is not just, I was going to say, bang on about the same thing, right? We know that, if there's a practical stream, you might think morning sessions are going to be about me working out and learning and education through movement. Here, then you might go over to this serious space and, do something on, I don't know, branding, social media, how you connect with people, and then you might pop into somewhere else. So I think it's going to be a really interesting ask as people are doing it, like what is talking to you, what is resonating, what has really been your takeaways, because it's going to be different for everybody. But I think for me, it's not just about intellectualizing things, and just it's really taking stuff away that's going to really make a difference and inspire people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that having been to events myself, I normally say to fit pros that, look at where your business is at the moment, look at where the get possible gaps are, and then look at sessions that you think will help fill those gaps. Otherwise, again, I've been there, been to fit pro as a delegate, done some fantastic sessions. You drive back, your head's full of all of this information, and then you go to your studio or hall on the Monday, and then you think, well, okay, where do I start? So I say, really try and streamline where you're at, what you want to get from the event, and then look at the sessions that may help to fill that gap. So that when you leave, then you know that you have achieved something and it's been worthwhile for yourself.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think we do really well at FitPro in our education and what we've been sourcing, particularly online, is about joining dots, because sometimes you learn about something, but you don't know how to integrate the two, and filling gaps. Because we know that there are gaps in education for all of us. So we've been trying to, with some of our education is very nuanced. So you said about headliners and stuff. We have questions about obviously GLP-1s. We have questions about how do I transform my business? How do I, menopause? What we've done is we've made sure those sessions are there. And whilst we're saying about people who have been integral to FitPro and been part of that, we're also bringing people who are new to the FitPro audience as well. So it's not just us sticking on people that we know have been successful in the past. We are also bringing people in, so you're going to hear new voices. And I agree with you fully. It's about finding the gaps for you and being, what I know about our FitPro audience is they're really curious. I know because I host the webinars and we have hundreds of people turning up to sessions that I think, well, that's so nuanced. That's really unusual. And there's hundreds. So I know they are a eager lot of people who will show up and go, okay, what can I do different rather than just doing the same thing each day, every day? There needs to be, for all of us, transformation, doesn't there?
Hmm.
So, yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Without being overwhelmed, like you say, that Monday morning, you go, I've got so much choreography. What do I do with it? There's going to be some things that they really can take away.
Okay, and who is it aimed at? So, someone might be watching this or listening to this and thinking, oh, what, I've only just passed my qualifications, or some other people might, "Oh, I've been in the industry for over 30 years. What am I going to learn that's new?" Who is this actually aimed at? Is it group exercise instructors, personal trainers? You tell me.
I, I genuinely believe the way we are doing the education, it will work for new people in the industry who are curious about where they're going to go, and people who are seasoned and as old as you and I. I genuinely believe you can get people in the room where a true educator meets them where they're at and just takes them a stage further. And I have absolutely made sure it's not just Group X or just PT or studio owners, or I've made sure if you're we know, don't we, in the industry, so many people are doing so many different jobs, but they may not all have all the answers. So, for example, we might have someone talking about resilience and they're thinking, I hadn't even thought about that.
Mm.
I hadn't even thought about, I want some answers on something like I said, GLP-1s. I didn't know there was a source of information available. So we're like I say, we're trying to plug gaps, identify them, and yeah, it's about lots of things being available. So again, I think sometimes some events have in the past, like you say, just been fitness and they're wonderful and we love them. Or they're so intellectualized that it doesn't feel like, oh, I've got my hands on it. So I'm trying to do that blend. And the people on that timetable that they really can talk to somebody who's been in the industry 2 seconds versus two I was going to say decades, but much longer. You know that they can, and I know in your session you're going to be talking about where they're at, and what can they do, those takeaways. And I think if it's a true educator is someone that meets people where they're at and takes them further, in my opinion, and they're the people I've got in the room.
Yeah, 100%. Now, a lot of instructors, personal trainers and group exercise instructors are always looking for that, that next shiny object. It was step, then it was Les Mills, then it was Zumba. So what sort of industry trends or topics will be a big focus of the event?
Yeah. So I think I'm not always a fan of just having shiny objects because shiny objects, if you're really going to care for it and love it and that fits you, absolutely 100% you should go for it. But if I think sometimes shiny objects is a brilliant way you're like, what should I do next? What should I'm sometimes because you're unsure of your own direction. Now, what we've done is making sure that it doesn't feel that we're just beating the drum of one thing. So there's a proliferation of loads of different things there. So I think what we've got to be mindful of staying ahead of the curve while not forgetting about the things that are truly important to people. So, for example, we have got choreography things in there because we know that some people want to take away something. We've got, dance experiences where they're just people are going to move. And then the next minute, we've got somebody talking about mobility and breath work. And another time, we're talking about the strategies of branding. It's so I think for me, I really do believe if you're in touch with education, in touch with the industry, you're going to present them with things that are going to be like, you're going to have a lot of aha moments, like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. I really do believe that. And then, out of the day, you might go to a number of sessions, and not every single session is going to hit you in the same way, but I think they will all impact you and inspire you. And sometimes, like I might say, for example, I might watch your session and I might actually just be really intrigued of how you've engaged with your learners.
Mm.
How have you, because I can use that in my own sessions. It's not just about the actionable things that they're going to take away. So I think if people come with an open mind, and like you say, not thinking that we're just going to present them with everything, we've got to apply ourselves. But I don't want people to turn up, and we talked about this. I don't want them to turn up and then go, yeah, but what do I do with that?
Exactly.
Do with it. I want people to go, I know exactly what I'm doing with this, and not feel that we're saying that, you've got to do a full 360. What about a little change of approach of things? That is going to be really refreshing for them as a personal trainer, group exercise person, but also wonderful for their clients as well.
Awesome. Good answer. All right. So, what exciting brands have we got there? Whether it's tech or, even the people that are exhibiting at the event, what can people,
Yeah.
or who can people expect to see there?
What's so great about FitPro Live in this situation is we're there as part of Elevate. Now, Elevate's been running for years. This is an amazing place. You can attend that live. Of course, you can attend it live. You can attend it for free. Now, if you've paid for FitPro, which is exclusive educational content, you can also go into Elevate. So there's a trade show, there's panels, there's little pockets of education as well. So not only have you got FitPro Live, you've also got the access to there. So in that space, they're going to find huge amount of brands as well there. For ourselves, we've linked up, we have partnerships with people like Active IQ, we've got EMD UK presence there, we've got Matrix presence there, we've got Mosa, we've got Les Mills, showcasing things, right? So, but there's a number of other amazing brands. I haven't gone for loads of tech this year because I just wanted it to be like a feeling kind of, thing and not just pushing every concept. Is there space in the future to do that? Hell yes, right? But like I say, we work with some amazing people and companies that have been so generous. I think they know they've been around and they know what FitPro Live was like before, and
Hmm.
they want to be part of that. So, again, for me, what's important is it feels authentic. It doesn't feel like these token gestures or token partnerships. They are brands that we've worked with, we trust, and will continue to work with. So, yeah, really exciting stuff. More stuff to be announced as well. Watch
Oh,
this space.
blimey, check it.
Oh no, oh no.
Your little teaser. Right then, here's a little curveball question. Um, we know that the industry's changed. So when I used to go to FitPro as a delegate, there was no internet, there was no YouTube, there was no social media. So the event really was that place where you had to go to get the latest choreography, the latest
Mhm.
trends, reports, research. Now the climate's changed. We do have all of those outlets. So someone might be listening to this and watching this and thinking, yeah, that's all great, but I can just hop on to Instagram, I could hop onto TikTok, YouTube. I could just go onto ChatGPT to get all the information that I need. So, putting this to you, why would an instructor
Yep.
that's listening or watching this think, you know what, I'm going to invest in my time and also place an investment into coming to FitPro Live rather than or as well as going through those other avenues?
A great, great question. And I think that's so wonderful that there are spaces for people to get that information that they can't necessarily turn up to. What we've, like I say, by working with Elevate, it's in the Excel Centre, so it's super, super easy to get to. The price of the day is £90. If you're doing 1 day, 2 days is 162. This is CPD endorsed education. You're not going to get this caliber of people together in one space and one time. You're going to be able to engage with them. I am, if you'd asked me, I don't know, even maybe 10 years ago, would I say, oh, online will work? I would have probably said, no, because it has to be hands-on and face-to-face. And it does work, but there's nothing like that true connection, is there? There's nothing like being, it's tangible, isn't it? We just did an event. It was the first one we launched. It was called Fascia and
Hmm.
Feelings. John Polly, my very dear friend JP. And oh my God, the magic in the room. It was, and they were all like, I can't, I'm so desperate just to be with other people and learn and engage. And there's something different when there's a question from somebody and you're like, oh yeah. And so for me, I totally 100% believe that by being in there, there is something that can never be achieved by just searching online. You can't replicate that experience. It's a I've been to events that and sessions that truly have changed my life. I'm not going to say to everyone if they attend, I'm going to, what I've created is going to change your life. But I have genuinely had those moments. And I know the educators are just amazing people. I mean, you as well, that will just do something special in that room. And, it's a bit like, I don't know, let's say live music. We all love listening to our music in our own home. But being there when a performer is performing, there is something. Even if you were listening to it on headphones in the same way you normally listen to it, you feel something that is just so difficult to describe. And that's what I think we're going to achieve. And yes, I am expecting you to sing in your session.
You got two oats, mate, and one of them's Bob, and that answer's probably showing my age. Anyway, um, that was a brilliant answer, by the way, and I completely agree that you can't beat being in a room, having that shared experiences with other fit pros, and actually realizing that there's other fit pros in the same position as yourself that's got the same questions, the same aspirations, and possibly the same fears as well, and that helps growth from an educational level, but also a personal level as well. So, a
Can
brilliant answer.
Thank you. Can I just add to that as well?
Hmm.
I Thank you for saying that. I also have chosen people that I know will are not about themselves. Now we know presenters can be showmen and sh but not be approachable. The people I've got there, I know that if someone comes and asks you a question, you're going to engage with them and really connect with them and talk to them and, encourage it. Like you say, learn their fears, learn their sort of pain points and stuff so you can help them. I don't just want it to be an hour of you, just saying what they should do and then just them feel like, oh, but yeah, it's easy for you. I've chosen people who've done it. They've walked the walk, they talk the talk, they showcase it. So it's about people also, it's about being together in the experience, isn't it? It's not just about a presenter being up here, the expert. These are experts that happen to feel like they're exactly the same as you. And I just, that shared experience is really important.
Awesome. Well, you've sold me anyway. So if there's someone else on here that thinks, you know what, yep, Theresa, you've done your job. I'm going to come along. How can they register and how can they get a ticket?
Fantastic. So one of the things that's very important to know is it's in collaboration with Elevate. Elevate is a free event unless you're a sort of a trade supplier. So what we'll do is we'll put a link there underneath this recording where they follow the link. And what they need to do is they want to choose. It says, "Are you?" And there's three options. The first one is FitPro, the second one is professional, and the third one is trade supplier. They need to go for the one that says FitPro. Then there's a sort of a button. It's called a button. It's not that hard.
Technical word, technical
Yeah,
word.
yeah, thank you very much. And it says, are you a member of FitPro, yes or no? Just choose the one that's relevant to you, doesn't matter. And then there's a series of questions, name, address, and stuff like that. And you'll go through. Now you choose either Wednesday, which is the 18th, the Thursday, which is the 19th, or both together. As I said, it's £90 for the single days, 162 for the two. And we've got a discount code that we're going to say right now, which takes 15% off. And that code is speaker 15 in capitals. Okay, so they get 15% off just because they've listened to you and I talking
Stop
about it.
it.
Yeah, I know, I know. So it's really important they genuinely are limited tickets. This is not a marketing gimmick. We have got only 3 rooms, and we want to fill those spaces with like-minded people of any part of their career. So the key thing is that they know that they're paying for that exclusive content. I don't want them just to turn up to Elevate. Of course, if they want to just do Elevate, it's an amazing experience. I've been year after year after year and I love it. But if they want to join us, they have to choose FitPro and that has to be that paid one. And we've got 15% off, like I said. So that's speaker 15.
Awesome. People that are going to come along and they're going to see all these wonderful educators and speakers and choreographers, etc. What's the one thing that you hope that every attendee walks away with after the event?
Lovely. I really want people to know what they have been doing has made a difference. But by attending, those 2 days, one day, that something changes within them, changes within their career, so that they are able to do even more. I want it to feel like it's inspiring them, it's impactful, and it's like you say, takeawayable. Is that a word? Can we use that word?
It's about as technical as the button word. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? That
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want people to go, there's been a lack before, but all of us are learning. I'm 35 years in and I'm always learning. The industry does not stand still. So we cannot, as true fitness professionals, we have to take ourselves further and push without, like you say, going for a shining object or thinking I've been doing it wrong. Let's have educators that bring something further out. And yeah, if if people as well, by being in a room, just feel something and connect with new people, come on, we've done our job, haven't we? You know?
Definitely, but I can. Your passion is oozing through my laptop, and it's just lovely to see. And I for one can't wait. And I'm honoured that you've asked me to be a part of the speaking presenting panel. Theresa, it's been wicked to tie you down to actually manage to discuss FitPro Live because I know you're the busiest person in the world ever. Um, and I look forward to seeing you and anyone else that is listening and watching this is going to sign up as well in a few weeks' time.
Thank you, Lincoln, and thank you for your generosity in doing this for us. So I think anybody listening, I consider Lincoln a friend of mine in this industry. I've known him, and he's inspired me for many, many years. And his career has been, helped along by FitPro. I think it's fair to
Yeah,
say, but it was only a tiny part of what he has been able to create, and so it's just amazing to have you there. I mean, the fact that you're not going to do any choreography is really disappointing, but
no one
you
needs to
are go-
see that.
but what you're going to be doing is
Yeah,
amazing. And so thank you for your generosity in doing this. And I'm just so excited to see you and everybody else as well. Thank you.
you're welcome.